And once again, everyone's favorite Wilmingtonian, Matt Sullivan, is here to tell us about something that I am personally very curious about. This is actually a big moment because I don't know what the answer to this is going to be. Okay, welcome, Matt. First of all, thanks for being on the show. But we all know that Caesar Rodney rode a horse to Philadelphia to do an important thing, and that's very important to Delaware. We all know that.
That was a long ride.
We know that thing. Now, I was thinking, because there's a lot of new restaurants opening up around here.
Right.
And I was thinking if somebody opened a steakhouse.
Go ahead.
Theoretically, if somebody opened a steakhouse.
All right.
They should consider naming the steakhouse in downtown Wilmington after Caesar Rodney's horse.
Okay.
Now, I'm doing that sight unseen. I don't know what the name of the horse is.
Right.
Okay. If the name of the horse is weird.
Right.
Or wrong, then it's not going to work. If the name of the horse is Buddy, that's not going to be the thing. So Matt, here's the funny thing, right? The internet is great.
Yeah.
But it's actually very hard to find information on the internet.
Very hard.
But Matt Sullivan claims to have discovered the name of Caesar Rodney's horse.
No, I said I had an answer to your question.
No!
Oh.
What do you mean you have an answer to my question?
Because
my question is, what is the name of Caesar Rodney's horse?
Well, I may have failed because I could not find the name of Caesar Rodney's horse, and there's some reasons for that. One is, it is 80 miles.
This is the
right. There's not one horse that could go that far, and so
this is the biggest
there
letdown
are
of my
trade-offs. Right. I found one website that suggested that it might not have been a horse; it might have been a draft mule.
Great.
Going from, and that website suggests the mule, one of the several mules and horses was Thunder.
Thunder!
But that is the name of a mule from a message comment on a message board. I find no other confirmation of it.
It's all we have.
But that's not, but if that was all we had, would that be why I was here?
No.
No, because I have something else. Because there is Delaware history, in Delaware lore, the question is, where did Caesar Rodney get the news, right? That he was needed to go to Philadelphia to break the tie, declare for independence, right? People say Dover, but there is a story that comes to us from George Alfred Townsend. He gave a great story on July 5th, 1880, for 4th of July celebration. He fancied himself a bit of a poet laureate of Delaware history. And he tells the claims that actually Caesar Rodney was not in Dover. The reason he was not in Philadelphia was that he was in Lewis. In the company of the widow Sarah Rowland.
Oh wait, so
a Tory woman.
This is a twisty twist.
A Tory woman who was keeping Caesar Rodney down there in Lewis, feeding him Madeira and other things, keeping him away from the action.
Wait a minute, had she?
Until one of her maids.
Are you soiling the name of Caesar Rodney?
Until one of her maids,
I need to stop the segment.
She was holding on to the letters, telling him he had to get to Philadelphia, so he didn't know about it. She was keeping him down there, and then one of her maids came and said, "Hey, you haven't seen these letters."
The maids, did she do it on accident or on purpose?
On purpose.
She did it
for
on
the
purpose.
Cause of independence.
This is poetic.
She brought Caesar Rodney.
Now, when you say maids, by the way, I'm sorry, but
maid.
I mean slaves.
I think I mean maid.
Okay.
So.
All right. Fine.
It would be hot if
passed down over the years.
Said, like, yo, bro.
Caesar Rodney gets his letter
down there.
It would be something.
It'd be a nice story.
I have some kind of bad news.
What?
George Alfred Townsend made this entire thing up.
Fuck!
40 years later, someone said, "Where did this story come from that it was in Lewis?" He's like, he might have been Lewis, he might not have been Lewis. That's still a question, but apparently he made up the entire story of Sarah Rowland.
But it's a better story.
It is, and it's a great story. And by the way,
while we're making that up, let's just make it a slave.
But you know what's a good name?
It makes Caesar Rodney in a brothel.
But you know what's a good name for a steakhouse?
What?
Rodney and Rowland. Roland and Rodney. Rodney and Roland Steakhouse.
It's actually good. Here's the thing. It's a really good
story.
It's a really good name. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's a particularly good name for a steakhouse in downtown Wilmington. Rodney
It's a
and Roland.
great name for a steakhouse.
It's a great
in
house.
downtown Wilmington.
What's the one in
So I didn't
Philadelphia
come
on
here with.
Broad?
I came here with the answer to your question. What's a great name for a steakhouse in downtown Wilmington? The Rodney and Roland,
Rodney.
or the Roland Rodney. Roland Rodney.
I like Rodney and Roland.
Rodney and Roland.
Roland. I like Rodney and Roland. I like the long one,
Yeah,
Rodney.
but hold on. So that is an answer. Okay.
an answer.
Now here's what I'm going to just posit to you, though. This is the last thing I'm going to say here. Okay.
Okay.
The internet
Yes.
is an amazing thing.
Right.
But it also limits the information that is available.
Yes.
Right.
And it narrows it, and it makes it so everything is the same. There is a book in that building over there that tells us at least the name of one of the mules or horses, I don't care.
So we are going to the Delaware Historical Society. Delaware Historical Society.
We're coming
We
for
want
you.
to know. What's the name of Caesar Rodney's horse? I don't know.
Let
But
me
I
tell
know
you
of a
my
great
story.
name for a steakhouse. That's what I answered.
Right.
That was what I did.
I like
Rodney and
that
Roland.
answer.
The
I
Rodney
like
and
him.
Roland.
That's
All
what
right.
it is.
Hey, thank you once again. This was
Thanks, Matt.
fascinating.
Appreciate it, bro.
We're going to have to put a really good title on it
Yeah.
so that people understand how important this is.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very important work I do here.
Thank you guys. All right.
Thanks.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any positive stories that Zach and myself need to talk about, be sure to submit it at stories.wilmington.love.